With a max stack of Hyperburst Pro foam, an aggressive rocker, and a minimal upper, is the new Skechers Speed Beast a good racing option for you, or is it more of a daily trainer? Well, after a few runs, I'm ready to give you my first impressions. Just a quick disclaimer though that I am a Skechers ambassador, so they did send these shoes to me for free, but this does not influence my opinion of the shoes, and all my thoughts are my own. So let's go ahead and dive into the specs. The stack height is 40 millimeters in the heel with 36 in the forefoot, giving it a 4 millimeter heel to toe drop. The weight comes in at 8.8 ounces, and the price is $190. I put this in the max trainer category. Let's go ahead and talk about what's new in the shoe overview. Starting with the upper, we have a very minimal, bare bones mono mesh. The midsole uses Hyperburst Pro, which is beaded supercritical TPU foam, and the forefoot is carbon infused winglet plate, and there is also an arch fit sock liner. The outsole has a good amount of Goodyear rubber in both the forefoot and the heel. Talking about sizing, I thought this shoe fit true to size. I got my normal size 12. It fit great, especially lengthwise. But one thing I did notice is that it felt a lot roomier in the toe box, especially kind of by like your pinky toe. And that was really nice because I thought that the Razor 4 was a little too skinny in that area. So I think that this one has a more accommodating upper. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the ride of the shoe as well as my first impressions. So starting with the ride, it is a very smooth ride, and that rocker technology really helps throw you on your toes and get you from heel to toe super quickly. And that carbon infused winglet in the forefoot does a good job of stiffening up the forefoot, and when you're picking up the pace, it does feel a little bit snappier. So as for the big slab of Hyperburst foam itself, I personally didn't find it as bouncy and energetic as other foams on the market, but it is still a lot of cushioning and has a little bit of bounce in there as well. So I did like the upper. Like I mentioned, it's very minimal, nothing to it. I could have used a little extra padding around the ankle or on the tongue because it is very minimal there. And then talking about the outsole, so far it has been very grippy and very durable, even though I only have a few runs on it. However, if this is supposed to be a race day shoe, I'm a little concerned why there's almost like a gravel outsole on here, because for racing standards, it's kind of aggressive. So to wrap it up, my first impression so far is that for me, I enjoy using it for long run days and maybe like a progression run where I'm picking it up to marathon pace. But for me personally, this isn't my top choice for a race day shoe. Alright, let's go ahead and do a few quick comparisons. The first shoe I'm going to compare it to is another shoe from Skechers, the Razor 4. So both of these shoes use the Hyperburst Pro foam, and they both have a flavor of H-plate. This one's the less aggressive H-plate, and this one is the carbon infused winglet variant of it. Anyways, I think that if you liked the Razor 4 but wish it had more cushion and a more aggressive rocker, that you're gonna like the Speed Beast. For me personally, I kind of wish that they swapped uppers on this. They had the more minimal upper on the Razor 4 and a little extra padding on the Speed Beast. And I also wish they did the same with the plates. They had the more aggressive carbon infused winglet on the Razor 4 and then the less aggressive H-plate on the Speed Beast. But that's just kind of my preference. Next up is the SC Trainer from New Balance. So I personally put both of these in the same category as up-tempo trainers with a lot of cushion underneath, and they both have some type of plate. So the SC Trainer has 47 millimeters of fuel cell foam and a full-length carbon fiber plate, opposed to the 40 millimeters of Hyperburst Pro and the carbon-infused winglet in just the forefoot here. So between these shoes, the SC Trainer is a lot heavier. I think it's like an ounce and a half heavier, something crazy like that. However, the fuel cell foam on this is way softer and bouncier and more plush feeling underfoot than the kind of firmer, more responsive foam on the Speed Beast. So I know that some people do enjoy racing in the SC Trainer. It's not a racing option for me. I don't think either of these are personally. As far as up-tempo trainers, I do kind of prefer that squishier foam of the fuel cell on the SC Trainer. And finally, I just wanted to point out that the Endorphin Speed, whether it's version 1, 2, or 3, comes in at least $20 cheaper than the $190 price point of the Speed Beast. And these shoes feature a full-length nylon plate as well as the PIBA-based Power Run PB foam. That's going to be very energetic and bouncy. So if I was choosing the Endorphin Speed or this shoe, I think that the Speed Beast has a more aggressive rocker and toe off, but I do think that the foam is better on the Endorphin Speed. Plus the Endorphin Speed is lighter, but those are just some things to note. So overall, the amount of cushioning underfoot makes this shoe great for long runs. That aggressive and firm forefoot makes it good for tempo runs. But for me personally, when I think of a race day shoe, I think of something that has a foam that is super light, super bouncy. It's gonna help keep my legs fresher, and I just don't think that this shoe is that for me personally. I do think though that there are going to be a lot of people that will enjoy racing in this shoe, especially if you think more traditional super shoes are unstable with that soft foam. This one's is a very stable shoe, especially with that sock liner and the firmer foam and that wider base. So if you're looking for a stable option, this could be a good one for you potentially. So I'm curious, have you tried the Speed Beast or are you going to pick one up? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on running.